Oh, that's right. You guys can't hear this. Okay, I gotta stop it, or else I'll be just dancing with myself, as it were. So here's a funny thing. This is how my brain works, and I love it. Is I was just on a coaching call with a client, and I will share. So when I coach, here, let me just plug in my phone. I'm always kind of, where'd we go? There we go. So TikTok Live. So I am a Gen Xer. So my brain, and just the way I'm wired, and I enjoy it, so I honor it. I love who I am. I love who I am. I'm not going to change, whatever that lady, that little meme thing is. Music runs through my head all the time, whether I want to or not. I've kind of got 68 RKO, Boston. I have a radio station in my head 24/7. And when I am coaching, some of the things that happen, good morning, Erin, and good morning, German Maid, and Flower Lady, and Kendra, and Shell. I love this. And I was just on a coaching call with one of my clients who's in her 20s. And I was saying to my husband after I got off of this, I said, I feel like an emissary from the land of Gen X. I feel like somebody's Gen X auntie in that relationship, because I'm like, I don't know if you have ever heard of this song. It's by this band called the SOS Band, and it's called Take Your Time, Do It Right. And she's in her 20s, and she's probably like, yeah, whatever. But I was just listening to it now. What a groove. What a groove. I have decided to come up with, because it's cracking me up, and I'm sure you've heard it if you've been on my TikTok lives, the songs that come up that during coaching, you know? And so I was just listening to it, but here's an interesting thing. I would have shared it with all y'all here on a TikTok live if I didn't know that I was going to record the TikTok live and upload it to YouTube, because YouTube has an algorithm where it can detect a smidgerson of pre-recorded music, and it can block an entire video because you have music in it that you weren't given permission to use. So I want you, if you're Gen X, you probably have, baby, we can do it, take the time, do it right, we can do it, baby, do it tonight. If you're a Gen Xer, you already now have that song running through your head, so you don't need to hear it. But if you don't know that song, I highly recommend, and again, hello YouTube, you just go and Google it. It is a good song. And that is a coaching principle. Take your time, do it right. Work at a pace that works for you, but instead of doing it quickly and then having to redo it, yeah, Carla, the SOS Band. I have actually want to thank you, Jenny and Barefoot Eclectic and Jay Ellis and Jenny again, and also sorts of folks. Good morning. And I want to thank y'all, and I'm not even Southern, I want to thank you all for reminding me of who did that song, the SOS Band, because I believe they were a bit of a one-hit wonder, and there are so many songs that I know how the song goes, but I have no idea who does them. And the funny thing is, earlier, and this isn't just me wanting to be historically accurate, I said like 68 RKO, Boston. That was more of when I got my little stereo with its 8-track player with its simulated wood grain, and the record player on top around 1979 to 80. That's when I learned about FM radio. And then I was listening to F105, 105.7, WVBF in Boston. So that's probably where I heard that, though that actually would have been, let me just run with this, please. I got to get it out. That would have been more like a Kiss 108 type of song, okay? Oh, that's good to know. Carla, you're saying that they had several good songs. I'm glad to know. I mean, I'm a fan of the one-hit wonders. I mean, the Oneaters, That Thing You Do, that song, and that movie changed my complete life. So I love one-hit wonders, but I like when they have more than one. Good morning, Grace. I'm glad that you're glad to see me again. And Danielle and Jen and Contender, and there was somebody who does crafts who's an introvert. Hello, I'm an introvert. I'm not so crafty. And Macy, welcome, everybody, to Destination Decluttered. I am Beth. Gen X, obviously. Maybe a touch of the ADHD. The more I read about it, the more I may have it, but that's okay because it's not a bad thing. I think it makes my brain work awesomely. Hey, Idaho Princess, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Is it this week that we're having our last coaching session? Wow. It is. But it's not the final one. It's just the last one of this package. Okay? Yeah, Kia, nice to see you. I've seen you popping up before, and Charlene. All right, so yes, this is Destination Decluttered. For those of you who haven't met me before, again, real quick, my name is Beth. Nice to meet you. And yes, last in this series, but not final. Not the final countdown. It's just last in this series, and you know how to get in touch with me. I'll be there for you as the Friends theme goes. Maybe that's another song on my list. Friends theme. Writing it down. I am Beth. I'm a Destination Decluttered. Well, I'm a Destination Decluttered. I am a decluttering life coach. What does that mean? I help you declutter your life. We start with your house. We work on your brain. We get to the life things. It all kind of happens at the same time. Thank you for saying Beth is great. I appreciate that. I have so enjoyed our time together. I have to share with you all. Have you ever worked with people who you don't really get along with, or you're fine, you're like, yeah, whatever, but then you get to work with people who you truly enjoy their company? I can say with 100% sincerity that when I work with my one-on-one clients, I just so look forward to our coaching sessions together. It is not even funny. I so enjoy working with my one-on-one clients. I hope it's mutual. But when you come to a work thing, a collaboration with somebody, and you both enjoy it, man, does that joy and that eagerness to work together, that energy helps you move forward, okay? So think about how you feel makes you do something different. There we go. Yeah, the final countdown by Europe. Exactly. That's one of the reasons my Gen X brain had to offer that countdown part, you know? Yeah, see? I love it because my Gen X people are totally picking up what I'm putting down. That's just how my brain is, works. And I love that positivity. The positivity, I did not grow up with it. I didn't. I came from New England. I came from people who were kind of, we're doomed. This is how it is. Very kind of fixed mindset-y thing. Okay. That I can definitely feel the difference, the before and after. When I used to be an Eeyore, when I was so unlovable because I listened to the Smiths, when I was like that guy on the Gulliver's Travels that they played, I feel like it was the Gulliver's Travels cartoon that they played maybe during the Banana Splits, but I'll have to check on that. But the guy who was like, we're doomed. I don't know, we're doomed. He was basically like the Eeyore of that group. That was me for a good many years, way too many years. Then I experimented with stopping that and starting something else. Voila, this is what happened. Feels better, and when you feel better, you do better. That's why I show up to help you with your clutter here on TikTok, on the mailing list. Thank you for everybody who showed up at the Zoom call last night. Wicked fun, huh? I'm putting some stickers in the mail for the people on the mailing list. You know who you are. I'm going to walk down to the post office today because it's a beautiful day. Stopping them right there. And also for my one-on-one clients who I love so much. Okay, so good morning, Chris. And here, T-Site is sending an SOS, not the SOS band. The in-laws were so rude about giving away anything. I don't know what to do. Nothing. Wait till they're dead. Get rid of it then. Now, that's me being a little bit flip, a little bit sassy, but it may be impossible to change somebody else. Knowing that, you won't waste your time trying to change somebody else. What you can do is change how you feel about certain things and also your plan for what you're going to do. Try something else if they're not changing and they were rude about it. But notice when they were rude, you might have touched a nerve with them, causing them to feel like saving this stuff might be not good. We all have issues. We all have issues. Yeah. That's a Rhett Miller thing. Or actually, maybe it's more old 97s. I've had some caffeine this morning. Just a smidge. And it's a good day and I'm feeling good. I'm all snappy. We all have thoughts in our head about our stuff that makes us feel a certain way. And if we feel like we're being attacked, disrespected, even if it's inadvertent, even if you don't mean to trigger somebody, and I don't like to use that time all the time, but sometimes it's like somebody pokes you, you hurt, and you slap back without even thinking of it. That may have inadvertently happened with them, and that's why they were rude. Or maybe they're just rude people to begin with, and this is yet another example of how rude they are. Do not take it personally. One of the 4 truths or whatever that book is that I read, do not take it personally. Note their reaction and say, okay, noted. That's obviously not the way we're going to get rid of that furniture. What is another way we can get rid of their stuff? And frankly, that's my plan for when my mom passes, is having a giant freaking estate sale, picking out the few things I want, very few. The rest of it, calling up somebody, being like, dude, I'm going to pay you to clean out this house for us. Send me a check. So make a plan for you. Never mind them, for you. So don't take it personally. You know what to do. Take care of yourself first. Make yourself feel better. Don't take it personally. This wasn't about you. It was about them and their relationship with stuff. Don't take it personally. Make a plan for yourself. Feel better and do better. Go on. Carla is saying, I met a cool woman from my state. She does a t-shirt shop on Etsy. Awesome. She does 80s, 90s music, movies, Fridays, and night trivia, and she gives away teas for the week. Oh, that sounds wicked fun. My house blew away again. I like it. I was very nice in general, yet they feel attacked. Yeah. You know what? I have learned, and I talked about this a little bit on the Destination Decluttered mailing list Zoom last night. I am from Massachusetts. Where I am from, we are very succinct, efficient, short with our words. Even with my family, getting off the phone, like, okay, yeah, I gotta go. Love you, bye. It's not disrespectful. We know at a certain level that we don't take it personally. That's just how we're wired. I think it's because it's so freaking cold up there that you're just like, I don't know, what do you need? Or we're busy. Ugh. However, we may inadvertently think we are being helpful and succinct and efficient, but depending upon how you're wired, people may take offense to it. They may think you're being rude because you're being so short. You haven't cushioned it in softer language. I learned this when I moved from New England to Delaware, and things moved at a slower pace, lower Delaware. And people were a little bit more softer in their language. I'm thinking of my husband. My God, when we first met, and I was being all New England, being like, zing, 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 ha, ha, ha. And he's there being like, oh my God, what the heck what is this woman? She's always like, cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, and this. Because at home, people would be like, oh yeah, and this, and this, and that's how you communicate. That's how you show your love. Twistedly enough, you show your love by making fun of people. Whew, that's a thing in itself. But notice how it may not have anything to do with you and your intention. It could be to the way the other people were wired. Do not take it personally, okay? Yeah, there we go. In Alabama, or we would call in the fam to ask how we've hurt Aunt Bet's feelings. Yeah, you know what? Don't take it personally. And some people delight in taking things personally. They take things personally that aren't even theirs to take personally. Oh my God. I have a certain person I'm related to. She's my mother. I love her. But man, she takes things personally that have nothing to do with her. So you notice these things, you love them anyway. You notice these things about yourself, love yourself anyway. All right, so there we go. Boom. Decluttering. What do we got here? What's keeping you stuck declutter-wise? This is where the coaching really happens. Okay? When I coach my one-on-one clients, we will always celebrate the wins. We will celebrate the moments of our lives, like General Foods International coffees. But then really what the coaching helps you with, and I will be honest with you, one of the reasons I show up on TikTok is to do a couple of things. One is to show you how I am as a coach, how I show up, how I talk, how I act, the things I teach you. If it resonates with you, if my vibe resonates with you, you may stick around and ask a question, feel comfortable enough to ask a question. You may be like, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. If you feel comfortable with me, that's cool. If you're not, the neat thing is you just scroll by, NBD, no big deal. And if you like how I present this info and it helps you, if you think I might be a good one-on-one coach for you, you've already said, hey, I think I can actually work with that person. It might be not painful, dare I say, a little bit fun. And this is where I go, hey, Fat Albert. And if you just, have some fun, and if you just might watch it, you might learn something before it's done, something like that. That's one of the reasons I show up, is to show you how I would be if I was your one-on-one coach. And instead of talking to an entire hundreds of people in a room here, I'm just talking with you, not at you, but with you, and even better, for you. What do I mean for you is because I only show up as your coach, as your co-pilot, to help you get to where you want to go. I get the map, I get the snacks, I have the I get the soundtrack, obviously. The soundtrack is a given. It's not going to be the Smiths saying I'm so unlovable and I'm doomed. It's going to be take your time, do it right. It's going to be life is a highway. It's going to be all that kind of stuff. And I know how to road trip so that I know when it feels good to stop and enjoy yourself. And we do that every freaking day. Every freaking day, my one-on-one clients, I endeavor to help them put the decluttering into perspective of not just spending all your time decluttering, but making time for the stuff that lights you up. Okay? That's often what coaching is. And it's helping you. So Barefoot Eclectic saying motivation to just get up and get going is the hardest part. Now, I thought Tom Petty said the waiting was the hardest part. Motivation to just get up and get going is the hardest part. Okay, that to me, I will say this. If you're looking at your camera, if you're looking at your screen right now, I know not everybody is, because maybe you're listening to me like a podcast as you're doing stuff around the house. I love when people do that. But right now, I am pointing to the road trip, visual road trip behind my head right here, and I'm pointing to the heart of what's your destination. And your motivation has something to do with where you're headed. This is why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered. Because a destination helps you get motivated. Think about it. When you're in your driveway, this is the one I always think of. I picture myself in my driveway. I'm in behind the wheel of my car. Now, I need to back out of my driveway before I move forward, but that's another technicality. When I'm behind the wheel and I know I'm heading to the beach, for example, we, apropos of something, decided, even though we've only been home for like a weekend, we're going to spend the night in Atlantic City this Saturday night. So me looking forward to our drive to Atlantic City and spending the night, that's fun. That's a destination. That's a fun destination. Ooh, I'm going to have to do some things in order to go to Atlantic City, but they don't seem that bad because they are getting me to a place I want to go. Destination. On the other hand, good destination, excited destination, one that makes you go, ooh, things that make you go, ooh, that could be on there. On the other hand, that's this hand. On the other hand, think of driving to a place you don't want to go to. You're still behind the wheel. You still have stuff to do. But you're going to, I don't know, a job you hate, a root canal, an appointment with your tax preparer. Ooh, I don't feel so good about this. So what do? You kind of delay, you distract, you're like, wait till the last minute. Everything that gets in your way, you're just like, oh, look, great, now I'm stuck in traffic. Oh, wonderful. It's an unenjoyable. I think I just invented a word. Instead of enjoyable, it's unjoyable. I'm going to write that down. Unjoyable. It is unjoyable to drive towards something you don't want to go to. Now, the thing is about being decluttered is I want you to be excited about where you're going and why you're doing it. Okay? So if you're not motivated, ask yourself, why am I even doing this? And if it's like, I don't know, then find out. make up something. Make up something that makes you feel good. I'm doing this because I'm goddamn sick of living the way I want, and I'm sick of feeling this way, and I want to feel better. Something like that. When you are excited about your destination, it's going to be easier to get motivated. How about just being appreciative that you have 2 legs that can be feet on the floor and stand up out of bed, because some people don't have that. Getting motivated to do those things is all about mindset and heart set. These 2 things working together, a green light here, green light here. And then your hands will just do the things. I love it. Okay, there we go. Kia is saying, I was in paralysis, but you have me in the kitchen deep cleaning. There we go. The wonderful thing is, the only thing I have to do with that is I have introduced into your brain some helpful words, some more helpful words than the backseat drivers. You're doomed. You can't do this. Stop. You're frozen. Paralysis. Analysis paralysis. What's that one? Executive functioning. A lot of the ADHD things tend to do with I don't know what to do, so I don't do anything. Let's break the spell. Break the spell and do something else. Okay? And you can do that. I didn't move you into the kitchen and say start deep cleaning. But when you hear different words and you run them down here and see how they feel, and you're like, oh, that feels kind of good. Hey, I could do this. This feels doable. When you think better, you're going to feel better. And when you feel better, that's going to allow you to do something different, to break that spell, to then do something. Going from paralysis to getting up and doing the deep clean of the kitchen, or even the shallow clean of the kitchen. Any clean of the kitchen, any organization, every little bit helps. Like the sticker says, okay? Every little bit helps, okay? And I want you to remind yourself that the only thing I did that you hadn't done was talk to yourself nicer. When you listen to my words, I want them to become your words when you talk to yourself, so you can motivate yourself when I'm not doing a TikTok live. Now, temporarily, you might hear it in my voice, like George Costanza. Oh, my voice is so high and whiny. I want you to start listening to your own co-pilot, because you have this voice inside you. It may not have had an opportunity to pipe up because the little kids in the back seat won't freaking shut up, because they're like, no, this, no, bad, stop. We calm down those kids with love, patience, amusement, and then we listen to our co-pilots and we drive towards Atlantic City, Frantic City. Okay, so I love this. Yeah, okay, and here's the thing here, absolutely with a heart. Moving from those big voices is difficult, but I did it. And I want to just plant the seed for everybody. This is how I look at it. I want to share this visual with you, so this might help kind of put it into context, because boy, does this make it easy for me to not only explain it to you, but explain it to myself. So it makes sense to be like, oh, I know what this is like. So think about this. You are in a car. You are always in the driver's seat of your life. Much like in your car, a couple of things are going on. You have the ability to start your engine or not, or to sit there without the engine on. The key that ignites a spark to start the engine going, that's something you can do, just like your car. You can also get into gear and drive forward, much like your car. You also have a steering wheel. So you can steer when you're moving forward. You can decide where you're steering. Are you steering? Does it say it on this one? No, this one just says, well, just drive your life. This is kind of my catchphrase. Are you steering towards your destination? Because if you're not, you're driving kind of away from it. That's okay. The steering wheel moves at all times. You can redirect yourself anytime you choose. You can start steering your life in another direction. What we do, though, is I want you to think of, you reflect back, you look in your rear view mirror and see what worked in the past, and you do more of what got you to your destination. But also when you look back without judgment and just with curiosity, you see what didn't work for you to get you motivated or started. And that's where coaching comes in, is helping you change what didn't work before. And then when you learn how to do that yourself, then when you find yourself stuck, you know how to dismantle those roadblocks in the future and always be directing yourself towards your destination. And it's just like driving a car. Even in the fact that you did not probably grow up with the skills. You did not learn how to drive a car. You were not born with the skill to drive a car. But you observed people and you picked up some things, but until you started doing it yourself, it was just all abstract. I like to be there as like your co-pilot slash travel agent slash or travel guide slash driver's ed teacher. I teach you how to parallel park. I teach you how to take a left-hand turn. I teach you how to do the things that you've not done before to shift a standard car without stalling out. I teach you skills. You practice the skills. You get better at the skills because you practice the skills. And then the skills become more ingrained. The better habits that you have they help you declutter, and then they stop you from recluttering. Okay? All right. So Rena is saying, I have OCD and my laundry's been piling up for too long. I'm very stuck. Okay? I want to suggest to you this easy process. When you are stuck because when you look at your clothing that is piling up, a thought, boop, goes into your brain that causes you to sit there and get stuck. You don't have to share it in the comments, but I want you to think of when you look at your clothing, what is the thought, what is the sentence in your head that comes up that causes you to sit as opposed to getting up and walking over and doing something about your laundry? When you know what that thought is, maybe it's a couple of them, quieting down your backseat driver, listening to your backseat drivers. There's the ones. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. There's too much. There's so much. Oh, you're so OCD. You can't even. Like, they are so babies. They're such little brats, loving brats that you're going to have in the back of your seat for the rest of your life. Listen to them, write down what they say, and then just be like, okay, noted. This is what is stopping me. All that is stopping you from starting is words in your head. Yeah, the unhelpful words stop you. So that means on the other side, the better words are going to help you start. Yeah, Carla says, rewiring the old crossed outdated wires. Yeah, let's rewire your home for maximum efficiency and to know where things just aren't doing it. Okay? So my stopper is where the hell do I start? Doesn't really matter where you start as long as you start. Kia, why not start with trash? Trash and recycles. Start with the surface clutter. Surface, stored, sentimental. Get used to keeping your surfaces a little bit more maintained. So trash in the trash, recyclables in the recyclables, and then putting stuff away where it belongs. Now here's the interesting thing. When you get to the putting stuff away where it belongs, you're going to find out a couple of things probably. You're going to find out that either you don't have a specific home for certain things, or you go to put it in its specific home and there are squatters in that home. There are things that don't belong there. Or there are too many things. You've got, too many spatulas in a house that only fits 2 or 4, but you've got 14. So reducing the quantity of items you have will allow you to make more room for the stuff that you actually do want to keep. Okay? And when you realize you have kind of too much of any category, I want you to think of categorizing, chunking things down, categorizing things. So when you open up a drawer or when you open up a cupboard and you go to put away your coffee cup or your teacup, as it were, and you're like, whoa, I got a wicked lot of teacups, so it's hard for me to put these mugs here because I have so many. Notice the ones you typically do not grab organically that you just don't use. Why don't you use them? Do not judge yourself, but be like, you know what? That one's too small. I don't like the handle. That one has a chip. I really like this one, so I will make the effort to hand wash this one and use it over and over again. Pay attention not to the stuff that's in circulation. That's dishes, laundry, circulation. Notice how there's a lot of that kind of like the swirling of, clothing and dishes, and there's probably some other stuff. Pay attention when you go to put something away to the stuff that you don't use. There is a story behind that. And just ask yourself why you aren't using those things. And those are the things that are probably going to allow you to reduce the quantity of things while increasing, just by math, the quality of things you have. Okay? Okay, so, yeah, how do I have so many whisks? I don't even whisk anything. Yeah, notice these things. It all happens to us. Like, we have a bunch of whisks, and the reason we have 3 whisks is because when we bought them, we only needed 1, but it came in a set of 3, so now we have 3. Luckily for us, our drawer isn't too adversely impacted, so we keep them. But if we were overflowing, we might want to say, okay, we get the mama bear, we get the papa bear, and we get the baby bear. Which one do we want to keep? Do we need all of these? The answer could be yes. My husband's the cook in the house, so I trust him on that type of stuff. But if it was really impacting us being able to put things away easily and opening and shutting the drawers, we would have a convo. Okay? Do not judge yourself for anything. Learn about what you have and how it got there, and then do something different. Okay? Now, Ms. Seashell is saying, I'm thinking I should get rid of the bed in my spare bedroom. I am thinking I should get rid of the bed in my spare bedroom, but I keep on stopping myself. My hands don't even go to the bed to move it because something is getting in the way between my thought and my hands, my head and my hands. See my hands right here? It's your heart. There is a thought in your head that comes after I should get rid of that bed. Thought in your head, backseat driver, I feel it's a little hand puppet here. What is your backseat driver saying as to that's causing you to doubt your desire to get rid of the bed? Listen to that. Listen to them. Be like a court reporter. Don't judge. Just write down what they're saying. Not even a court reporter. I guess it would be like taking shorthand when somebody's giving their confession. Listen to what your backseat drivers have to say. There is important information there because they are saying words that are causing you to stop, so that the opposite, when you find out what those specific words are, you can play around with them to find an opposite to negate it, kind of like sound waves, that's going to make you feel more, instead of less encouraged, more encouraged. Okay? Listen to your backseat drivers when they're trying to keep you stuck in. Listen how they talk to you. What do they say to get you to not do the thing you know you want to do? And then grab yourself a notebook, grab yourself a workbook. My one-on-one clients know about this, and just write that stuff down. I will say this too. Fold a piece of paper in your notebook in half and only write down what they say on one column. Making the fold equals 2 columns. I don't write a line straight, so I just fold. I will teach this actually on Sunday's workshop, the free workshop I'm doing. So I will teach part of this process. The folding of the paper is a recurring theme in my coaching. On the left-hand side, just write down all the unhelpful things that your backseat drivers are saying. Realize that's only half the story. There's a whole other side of that story, which is the opposite of what they're telling you. If what they're telling you stops you, the opposite is going to help you get started. This is a fun thing to play with, to realize it's just words. But words that never were true. Words help make us feel feelings. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. We like to say that, but do we believe that? No, because words make us do things that we want to do. Words can make us do things we may not want to do. It's crazy. All right? I love it. Dishes are going to the Goodwill. Can't take it. All right. Just you do you, you know? So just notice the interplay. Words are all I have. The Bee Gees. There we go. I love it. I was also thinking of What Are Words For When No One Listens Anymore. The Missing Persons and More Than Words by Nuno and what's his face? Gary Sharon. Exile. Was it Extreme. That's it. You know why they were called Extreme? It's because they sold the money, the band name, The Dream, to somebody else for big deals. So they were X-Dream. And now you know. Melissa is asking, why, when I declutter my closet after losing weight, I want to keep my fat clothes just in case. I get a 4-letter word for you that starts with F. Fear. Fear. If you want the shortcut, if you want the TLDR version of coaching, it comes down to this. When you're not doing something, fear is in charge. When you're doing something and hanging on to stuff, it's fear. When you're doing something and it feels good and you're being able to release stuff, that's love. It's almost like if you had those little knuckle, I should get those someday for a TikTok live. I will write them down on my hands if I think about it. Fear and then love. Fear is on the one hand, it keeps you stuck. I am afraid that I may gain this weight again. I am afraid that this new me is not long lasting. This feels weird to be a new size. Just in case, I'm going to keep these clothes because I'm afraid that if I gain weight, I'm going to have to buy new clothes. So I'm keeping them because it makes me feel safe. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Feeling safe in your nervous system is why the backseat drivers are telling you to pretty much do everything. I don't want to get too into that, but it's so true. It's keeping you feeling okay and safe. So if it makes you feel better, safer, to kind of temporarily, and temporary is arbitrary. Temporary can be as long as you want or as little as you want. If you want to temporarily keep those clothes because you are afraid that you may gain the weight back, and you might, keep the clothes. But here is a way I suggest that can help you in keeping those clothes, is pull them out of regular rotation. You're not going to be wearing them because they're too big. So they shouldn't be in circulation, and they should not make it harder for you to put away the clothes you currently are wearing. What you can do, though, is take those larger clothes, lovingly put them in a box or a bag, label that box or a bag with the date and the size, and then put them in storage somewhere so you know where they are if you need them. But then, here's the maintenance part. Notice how we can declutter our homes. We can decrease the amount of items in our home. Much like losing weight, we can decrease the number of pounds on our body. That is one part. But in both instances, if you do not change your habits in the maintenance portion of the show, the clutter will pile up again. The weight will gain. Now, weight gain is a lot more difficult than, widgets in, widgets out. There's so much more involved in our bodies and how it hangs on to weight. Think about it. One of the reasons our body hangs on to weight is because it's afraid it might not have nutrition. So does it make any sense that we see something that we think we might need someday and we hold on to it? It's the way our body works. Why would our brains and our nervous systems be any different from the way we are? But what I want to offer to you is notice your maintenance habits. You're going to need to change them if you want to maintain a decluttered home. And much like when you are losing weight, I will share this. I'm doing this myself. It's those tiny little habits. It's I'm going to decide to eat a piece of watermelon as opposed to scrounging around for crackers. I am going to say no to going out with my friends, because if I go out with my friends tonight, I will have a good time, but I'm going to be eating and drinking. And what I want to do right now is feel better about myself. And I'm still just trying to get used to making better decisions about what I do. So notice it's those little micro moments that are going to keep you decluttered and kind of losing the weight. Okay? Now, this is interesting. Yeah. Gaining weight and holding on to the skinny clothes. Yeah. I also am I want to be that person. I'm afraid I'm going to be that person. I want to be a person who's skinnier again. If you love you at a weight, you shouldn't. Here's the ultimate goal, you guys. And I know it's quasi-aspirational, but it's so worthy to strive for. Is love yourself no matter what. Love yourself no matter what. Love yourself, self, no matter what. No matter what stuff you have in your house, no matter how much money you have in the bank, no matter what the scale says, no matter how many rolls of fat you have on your belly. Love yourself. Now, all you need to do is love yourself. Look how easy it is. Oh my God. I know that isn't easy, but man, is it worth practicing. Because when you love yourself, you feel better. And when you feel better, you make better decisions. But when you aren't loving yourself, you're making decisions based on fear and lack and influenced by other people. But when you start bringing it all in and saying, I am going to love myself no matter what the scale says, no matter that I'm gaining weight in my belly, no matter how much stuff is on my countertop, I love myself. That doesn't mean that you just get complacent and you don't do anything. If anything, if you love yourself, you might then want to change something to make yourself feel better. I know myself, I have gone almost a week now doing Noom on my phone because I decided to say F it to kind of dieting and all that stuff back in the fall because it was just getting me frustrated because I feel like my story was, and it was true, that I've been on a diet since I was like 11 years old. And I said, enough of this. I want to experiment with not even caring what I eat. Not caring, but you know what I mean? Not obsessing, not shaming, not watching calories. Now, the interesting thing was, it was kind of fun until it wasn't. It felt good until I didn't. I started feeling kind of rumbly. I gained a little bit of weight, and that made my clothing feel uncomfortable. I started I was drinking too much and eating too much, and then I would have a headache, and then I'd feel crappy. But then, whatever, I've decided to do something different. And it's the same thing as decluttering, is saying, I don't want to feel this way. I love myself enough to want better for myself. And what I want better for myself is to have less stuff around me so it's easier for me to live. I feel better in my home. It's easier for me to do stuff in my home. It's easy, and things are made easier when you have fewer things in your home. That's why I show up to help you declutter. And notice, I'm not in your house. I'm in your head. Because this right here, this and this is what you need. This is where you need to hang out and sort out and investigate. This is where you need to hang out here and here before you even start to do anything in your home. Because when you hang out here and here, you come up with a more informed roadmap of what you're doing, where you're headed, why you're going there, and you've got that internal motivation. Okay? That's where it's at, my dears. And that's why I show up here on TikTok, doing these TikTok lives, perhaps differently, more differently, if even that's a phrase, than any other decluttering person on TikTok. This is me being the decluttering life coach. Okay? Life, Dottie, life. Decluttering life coach. Because to me, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't care how it looks. If it legit feels good to you, love how you're living your life. Everybody's got their own set point of what the right amount of clutter is. Some people are minimalists. Some people are maximalists. Some people are in the middleists. Some people change. I love looking at maximalist stuff, but whenever I try to do that to my house, I get at a certain point, I'm like, that's too much. It starts to feel like too much, and I knock it back. Now, the funny thing is I don't think my house is particularly maximalist, but to some other people with the bright colors and the stuff I have hanging on the walls, they could be like, whoa, this is overwhelming. That's too much. It's too much for them, but it's just right for me. So for you, I don't care what your house looks like, as long as your house does a few things. It looks good to you. The way your house looks makes you feel good, and not just on the surface, but in the door, behind the doors and in the drawers and in the sentimental areas, that your place makes you feel good. And let's not forget the functionality. Your home is a place that's supposed to make your life living easier. You can more easily fall asleep when you have curtains to close and a roof over your head and food that's in easy access and clothes to wear and tools to use to make living easier. So the functionality of your home is part and parcel of the decluttering. So you have just the right amount of stuff. And that amount of stuff makes you living there easy, that you're not doing 80 million towel loads of laundry because you have 80 million towels. You have kind of just the right amount of towels to use and to have a decent amount to put in the washing machine. And when they're in the washing machine, you still have some to use. So you have a nice balance. Now I'm thinking of Get the Balance Right by Depeche Mode. I'm totally writing that one down. Okay? But think about that. It's all about you. It has nothing to do with me or anybody else except for you. Get the balance right. Because it's more besides joyrides and a little home in the countryside. Am I right? Am I right, my Gen Xers? I'm right. All right, Michelle is saying, I am getting started. I got rid of 3 trash bags. Rock! Catherine, yeah, Depeche Mode, you know it. Let's get the balance right, shall we? And the balance is going to vary from day to day. This is why I bought this when I was in Palm Springs. Not just because I love Palm Springs and flamingos, but the balance is going to be a little bit every day. Okay, so look at this. If you haven't looked at the screen, just look at this thing right here. You are not a machine. You're not always at 50-50, like it's a work-life balance, 50-50 all the time, unchanging. No. There's a little flow. There's a little give and take. Have some flexibility. Love yourself when you don't have enough time, and love yourself when you have enough time. Love yourself when you're a few pounds, quote, overweight. Love yourself when you're a few pounds under that. Love yourself when you've got too much stuff in your house. Love yourself when you're getting on the way there. But just notice every day the balance is going to be a little bit different. Check in with yourself and get the balance right. And the balance really is, honestly, you guys, whoa, did something over here. Whatever, I'll be off in 13 minutes. The balance is all going to be about kind of like people talk about mindset. Who the heck talks about heart set? Heart set. You've got the right mindset. It's a mindset shift. It's only your mindset shift when you've engaged your nervous system and your heart, where these two are playing nicely, that they both say yes. When these things both say yes, you are totally on the right side of a good thing. Okay? You are right there with love and compassion and curiosity and openness and understanding and willingness, and your hand is open and you're ready to release things. When your head and your heart are playing together nicely. But you'll notice when your head is saying one thing and your heart is saying the other, that's when, oh, should I stay or should I go now? There's another one. There's the should I stay or should I go? Should I stay? Spotify list coming up. When there's a little bit of a back and forth. You got me jerking back and forth. That's Devo. I'm writing that one down too. Devo, look at me. I'm on a roll. I love it. I'm on the radio. I love it. That was Mr. Microphone. When you're there and there's a bit of tension, that's what causes the exhaustion and the overwhelm with clutter. Is basically your head is saying one thing and your heart saying the other. I say follow this. Because your heart is your soul, is your spirit, is the good thing. Your head is influenced by outside voices. It may start to talk like somebody else's voice. Anybody's got their mother's voice in their head, or a parent that says, you can't do that, you have to keep that might be good someday. That's not even your voice. Your voice comes from here and goes up and goes out. Somebody else's voice sometimes is what comes out of your mouth, and you're like, whoa, I sound like my mother. No, trust me, I'm not giving moms a bad rap. I love my mother. I love all of us doing the best we can with the skills we have. Okay? And just notice these things. I know in a quick 1 hour TikTok, I probably give you a lot of things to think about. I want them to go from your head, from hearing them up here, trickle them down to here, and just see if these resonate for you. If they do, that's great. Maybe we'll be coaching together. If not, maybe there's somebody else out there who can help you with your stuff. But to me and to my clients who I've worked with, boy howdy, Cream Magazine, do they say, oh my gosh, I never realized how much stuff was behind the stuff. Now I get it. Now I am making decisions that feel right to me. And that to me, I never wanted to be a teacher, but when I hear that aha moment and that click and the I get it from people, that is so freaking satisfying. Because I know what it's like to be on the others, to the before of the aha moment. And all of a sudden things, you're like, oh, whoa. Everything kind of fits together like a puzzle has been solved. And you're like, I get it now. Now, armed with that information, now that I have this information, and then that's what I love about coaching is like, okay, now you get it. Now let's make a plan. Let's not just be like hanging out in our togas talking about ethereal stuff. Let's put this info to good use and make a plan, a roadmap to get you to your destination decluttered. What can we do between now and the next time we meet? What can you do? Ooh, and when you feel good and you get it and you understand what's going on, that's the energy of making the best laid plans. And plan is just a plan. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But having a plan is better than not having a plan at all. Okay? I love it. Josephine just said, I just cleaned underneath the kitchen sink. Thanks. You're welcome. Valerie's calling me a GD saint. You're welcome. Your videos are helping me so much. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad they help. And I also say thank you. Everybody, thank you for showing up on my TikTok lives. Because if you didn't, I'd be talking to myself. That'd be kind of creepy. Thank you for letting me know what I am doing is helping you. When you tell me that, when we share this, hey, you're helping me, I'm helping you, this is good. Collaboration, like minds, a rising tide floats all boats. When you share that goodwill with me, the thank you, the gratitude, that makes me show up even more. That makes me show up between now and what is it, next Wednesday, a week from today. There are another 7 Destination Decluttered TikTok lives in the works between now and next week. Some of them are scheduled, 2 are not. Notice how, you know what, the 2 that are not scheduled on the weekend is because weekends are different than Monday through Friday. For me and for everybody else. It's how our society works. The reason I didn't schedule a specific time for those is because I didn't really know what my weekend plans were. Now we've roughed out the plans. My husband's got a gig on Saturday. We're going to drive down to Atlantic City, see a friend play, stay over in a hotel. I will be doing my TikTok live on Sunday morning at a time to be determined from a hotel room. And I will be doing the Destination Decluttered road mapping your day and road mapping your week workshop, free, just for the people on the mailing list, from a hotel in Atlantic City. Because I love having a flexible life and I love to be able to say yes to the things I want to do, and I want to do both of those. If you're interested in that workshop, get on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. If you like what you're hearing from me, mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. If you want me to be your one-on-one coach, I got space in my calendar Monday through Friday, basically from 7 a.m. to about 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and a half, or Thursday and a half. That's what I like to call it. Eastern time is usually when I coach, so I am more scheduled to people on the East Coast. But I also have West Coast clients who get up early. Destination Decluttered. Go to the coaching page, sign up for a consultation. The only way I coach is I have a 10-session package. It is a set price, and that gives you the flexibility to say, okay, how far can I get in 10 weeks? 1 hour a week on Zoom for 10 weeks in a row. How far can I get? Now that's completely up to you. And I don't say it's up to you, but it's based on where you are right now. How much stuff you have in your home. Where your head is at. Where your energy is at. Where your head and your heart are at. All of those things come into play to influence your progress. But I want to share with you, we work at a pace that takes all of those things into account so that you learn to show up a little bit every day. Now, your little bit can be 5 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, it can be 2 hours. You know your schedule better than I do. You know your energy. You know what time of the day you work best. I know myself, and I honor myself. I love myself as one word, but myself, 2 words. I know that I am a morning person. I know that I am a better coach between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. Trust me, my clients that I have at 4 and 5 in the afternoon, I am also a kick-ass coach for you. Past 6 p.m. Eastern, my physical body is tired. I am not, I would be at 80% as a coach. I don't want to show up at 80% for anybody. I want to show up at my 100%, especially when you're paying me to be your coach. That's why I schedule my time to be where my tank is the fullest. So I give you 110% of what I have so we can make the road together, okay? So there are all sorts of things that can help you to get to where you want to go to, okay? Somebody I just said, and I just noticed as I was kind of not rambling there, but sharing some things, that a bunch of comments popped up. So the last 5 or 6 minutes here, 4 minutes really. Do I have anybody at noontime? Oh, yeah, okay. So I will scroll through these, but I just want to let you know, I will be here on TikTok. If you haven't followed my page, follow it. If you go to follow my page on the front of it after I'm off of this thing in like 4 minutes or so, there is a schedule. There is a schedule pinned to the top 3 videos, and it says like TikTok Live Marathon till May 1st. Click on that and you'll know when I show up tomorrow. I'll tell you to you right now, however. 8 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, the 25th, Eastern Time. That's when the next TikTok Live is, okay? Kia is saying, I got something done today. Awesome. Your support really helps. Thank you. Hilda says, I just threw out 8 empty cornstarch cans that I was sure I was going to need for something. I got them too. Oh, this might be good for something. It might be. Was it? Nope. Okay. At least I tried. There we go. User 1963 said, just found an 18-year-old aging out of foster care, and I'm going to give him belongings from my somebody. I'm sorry, it kind of cut off, but that's an awesome way. Notice how you feel about where your stuff is going can make it easier to release. Okay? Rena is asking, can you use an example of how you use the roadmap behind you? Wicked easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The heart over here, I always feel like some sort of religious figure when I'm pointing up here. The heart over here is your destination. Your destination is where you're headed towards. Your kind of destination decluttered. This is what I want my house to look and feel and function like when it's decluttered. You write that down. That's where you're aiming for. This is a bit like a destination. Like I talk about Palm Springs as mine, but it's also like the North Star. Nobody ever gets to the North Star, but when you align your thoughts and words and actions, and when you align yourself to your destination of saying, this is how I want to feel and this is what I want it to look like, what you do is you begin to notice what is in alignment with that and what isn't. What gets you distracted? What's the road towards that? And what's a detour that's going to get you not going there? Okay, so that's this destination. And then every day, I will say this, every single day that we show up in our lives, we wake up in the morning, God willing, and we are here at this map pin, this pin on a map. I think of this as when we drive up the Jersey Turnpike to New York City and you pull over to, go to one of the road stop things and they have the sign there and you walk in and you see in context, you are here. You are on a certain road that got you to there, and every day you are here. And this is where you make a decision and you say, okay, if I want to get to here, this destination, and I am here, these little dots, you're the one in the car, these little dots are the things that you say, what are some things I can do today, no matter how big, how small, what are some things I can do today that are baby stepsing me towards my destination? Because when you are doing things and spending your time going towards your destination, by the laws of math, you cannot be doing things that are going against it. I can't be, well, I guess I could be eating a salad and a piece of pizza at the same time. Kind of weird. But, if you're heading towards eating more vegetables, you're going to eat more vegetables. Is a sausage pizza not a vegetable? No. You might have time to do that. Maybe a weird analogy, but what I'm saying is when you know where you're headed, it makes decision-making easier. That's what this is all about, Charlie Brown, and I use it all the time. Wake up in the morning, say, where am I headed? Here I am in bed today. What are some things I can do today to incrementally move myself towards that? And when you do that, notice my hand is going to my heart, and it's almost like I'm being pulled forward like a magnet, because that's the feeling of your destination. It's a magnet being drawn towards something versus not being so excited about what you're going to do and sitting there in bed going, oh, more of this crap, huh? Yeesh. All right, whatever. When you feel better, you're going to do better, okay? Hope that helped, Rena, about the map. All right, I get real quick. I'll stay on for a smidge longer. I love it. German Maid said, meals prepped, all my morning smoothies, folded laundry. Okay. 33 Cupcakes is trying to get rid of kids' toys. Involving them 8 and 3 is not working well. I might be able to help you with that, but I can't do it right now. Maybe tomorrow at 8 a.m. If you show up at the TikTok Live, we can talk about that. Show up, get up there early and put your comment right there and remind me. User 1963 says, do you ever reject potential clients? Very rarely I do, but I do it for the best possible reason. I reject potential clients when I find out information that makes me know that they need more help than I am qualified to give. I help tons of people. I have maybe rejected and said, this isn't a good fit, lovingly. This isn't not a good fit for maybe 5% of all of the consultations I've done. Whether people reject me, that's another thing, because they get afraid of money and stuff like that. But there are people out there who are kind of, as I say, above my pay grade. Hoarding, traumatic stuff, mental illness, those are things I, as a certified life coach, am not qualified to adequately give you a safe space to handle. I don't want to get us into that scenario, but that happens very infrequently. And I will say this in true, what do I say, disclosure. I have kind of come to realize that people who I am working with now maybe have hoarding tendencies. There's a scale for hoarding too. So I may work for people on a certain level of the hoarding scale. Oh, my computer's doing wonkies. Oh God, come on here. Hold on, sorry. TikTok is making me do this goofy thing. So yes, very rarely do I reject potential clients, but it's only because I don't think we're going to work out together, and I don't want to start us getting in a road trip. I only want to be there if I feel I can help you. If I can't help you, I want you to have that time free to help somebody else. I want to help guide you to something that might help you better, okay? I love it. Jessica is saying tips for going through a big messy storage unit, a little bit at a time. I love it. Okay. Also, people are doing these things, but I will say this, it's always better to show up to the consultation unless you know that you literally cannot walk through your house and you've got serious issues of a certain thing. If you know that about yourself, know that there's help out there, but it may not be for me. But other than that, let's just have a conversation and see what we feel like. Okay? But ultimately, I never want to get into a situation where I don't feel like I can give somebody what they're paying for. So why even start it? I'd rather refer you to somebody else. I'm not going to take your money just to take your money. I want to refer you to another way of getting help and know that you are being sent off to get to your destination with the help to get you there. Okay? That's how I roll. I really feel good about it. Okay? Okay, I am signing off right now. I got some stuff to do, coaching and consultations. It's nice out, so I'm going to go declutter the yard a little bit because it's that time of the season, as the zombies would say. If you like what you heard, follow my TikTok page. Get on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. And if you want me as your one-on-one coach, destinationdecluttered.com, work with me page. Sign up for a consultation. See what happens. Paid coaching is what got me to where I am today. That's why I offer it, because I show up differently for stuff I paid for than the stuff I get for free. Maybe that's with you too. All right? I get a scoot. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.